Not enough energy to go to the train station.
Take monkeys to the train station to avoid the tornado. That's good thinking. Hey, where you at? I need two triple A's. How much? Little guys, dude. How to play. The engine should move forward in the direction shown down.
Good afternoon. We are going to start shortly. We're just going to wait for the other students to join the meeting. Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes po.
Yes
Yes.
po.
And can you turn on your cameras and your microphone for a while before we start? I think we're already 100 plus. We have, we are 36 here in Zoom and 86 students are watching in YouTube. Maybe next time, let us just use the Schoology web conference. Is it better if we use the Schoology's conference, the big blue button? Mas malinaw ba doon sa big blue button? Okay.
Yes.
Okay lang kayo.
Saan po
Sakit dito, ma'am.
malag po dun eh.
Lag. Kaso kasi, hindi makapasok yung ibang estudyante dito sa school, sa Zoom. Eh, yan. Anyway, nasa YouTube naman siya, kaso hindi sila makakapag-participate. Ayan. So, let us start. It will be just a short discussion, just a review, maybe. So, okay. Before that, let us first have a recap of the lesson. Yan, good afternoon pala. Yan. Let us first have a short recap of the lesson that we had or that we discussed last week. What was the last or what is the literature that we discussed last week? What is the literature? What is the title of the story that we have discussed last week? Yes? One?
The Storyteller po.
Okay, it is the storyteller. Who is the author of the storyteller? Who is the author?
Si Zaki po.
Jackie. Again, later, during the discussion, if you want to answer, you can also raise your hand. Pero pag walang sumagot, pwede ding, sige, sabihin nyo na lang yung sagot. Okay. So I think you already know the topic or the poem that we will discuss today because you already read it last Monday. So let me share my screen with you. Here. Yeah. So for today, for this week, the focus of our lesson for this week is about is the story or the poem written by William Wordsworth entitled "I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud," or it is also known as Daffodils. You know what is daffodils? Yun yung background ko kanina, yung daffodils. Let me use it again. I think it's pretty. Wag na nga. Sige, yun. The daffodils. So, who is the author of the Daffodils? Let us know more about William Wordsworth. Can you hear me clearly? Clear ba yung dating ng boses ko sa inyo or hindi?
Clear po.
Clear po.
Okay, so who is William Wordsworth? William Wordsworth is a poet who is a romanticist poet, or he is also the proponent of romanticism. When we say romanticism, this is a kind of poetry that most of their theme is about nature, the love for nature. So that is romanticism. And William Wordsworth is known for his famous poem, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. And he also became the England's poet laureate in 1843. What is laureate? So pag sinabing laureate, when we say laureate, this is given, the position given by the queen, appointed by the queen, meaning they are the best poet in that year or in their country, and they are expected to write poems for important occasions. So he is the poet laureate in 1843 in England, and he has this role until his death in 1850. So that is William Wordsworth. One thing to know about William Wordsworth, he is known for romanticism. He introduced romanticism together with Tintern Abbey. For those who will take literature in college, okay, remember him, William Wordsworth, known for romanticism. Okay, next. Now, what is the background of the poem? Why did he write the poem? So this poem was inspired by an event on April 15, 1802, when William Wordsworth and his sister Dorothy came across a long belt of daffodils in the Lake District where they live at the time. So it was written in 1804 and published in 1807 and slightly revised and published in 1815. This is often referred as daffodils. So you can call it I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, but if you're lazy, so you can also call it as daffodils. Daffodils. Okay. Now, today we are just going to read the poem, analyze, summarize it, explain the meaning of the stanza. So before that, I will read the poem, the whole poem, and later you're going to call one student to read the whole poem, and then one student again to read the stanza, and another student to explain the stanza. Did you get it? Did you get what we're going to do today? So we're just going to explain the poem per stanza. So before I call the student, I will read the poem first. So this is I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. Natatakpan. Okay. I wandered lonely as a cloud. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So that is I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. Before I call a student, announcement, you can already start memorizing the poem because this will be your final performance test in first grading. But the instruction will be given maybe next week for the rubrics also will be given next week. Now let us call one student to read the whole poem for us. So who wants to read the poem? The whole poem. Anyone who wants to volunteer? None? Sige, hanap tayo. Ayun. Okay. Stephen. Sige. Stephen Joel
Hey, ma'am.
Mauricio.
Hey, ma'am.
Hello.
Naririnig po ako.
Yes, we can hear you.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in a sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not be but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with the pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils.
Very well. So very good pronunciation, Stephen. Okay. So again, announcement, you're also going to perform this. So start memorizing this poem starting today. Okay. So question, what kind of mood or feeling does the poet expresses in this poem? Anong pakiramdam or mood, feelings does the poet expresses through this poem? Anyone? What kind of feeling Let me change the question. What kind of feeling have you felt after reading this poem? After hearing this poem? Or based on the words that was used, what kind of feeling have you felt in your sarili na yun, ha? Have you felt after reading or hearing this poem? Let's call one student from this meeting.
Ma'am,
Yes, who is that?
ako po.
Sino ka? Syra?
Kweng,
Okay, yes, Syra.
opo.
Yes. What kind of feeling have you felt after reading or hearing this poem?
Makes you feel good about life.
Okay, it makes you feel good about life. Okay. How about the others? If Syra felt good after hearing felt good about her life after hearing this poem, how about the others? What have you felt after hearing this poem? After reading this poem? Did it reminded you of some memories or what? Yes, Chantal.
I felt pensive po.
Pensive about the poem. When you say pensive, what is pensive?
Parang dreamy po na parang mood.
Okay, dreamy, contemplating, like that. Okay. Yes, Wesley. Wesley Lepardo.
It makes you relax po because of the nature po.
Okay. Because of the word, or it presents us the image of a nature. So it makes you relax. Thank you for that answers, students. So now let us proceed. Let us go, let us summarize the poem per stanza. So I'm going to call one student to read the stanza and another student to summarize or explain the stanza. It is, no, it is easy to understand. This poem is easy to understand. He didn't use um, that much deep words. He just used normal words, but he uses different figures of speech and imagery. So let's go with the first stanza. Anyone who wants to volunteer to read the first stanza, just read. You're just going to read the stanza. Yes, Chelsea.
Narinig po ako, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze.
Okay, thank you for that, Chelsea. Now, what do we mean, or what does a poet mean by this stanza? Can you explain the stanza for us? Can you summarize the stanza for us? Who wants to volunteer? Just summarize, just explain the stanza. Anyone? I saw someone raising his hand. Who is that? Yes, Yvonne.
Ma'am, rinig po ako, ma'am.
Yes po.
Ma'am, the persona in the poem po is wandering. While he is wandering po, he saw a crowd of daffodils. It means po, he saw a lot of daffodils po beside the lake and beneath the trees.
Okay, very good. Exactly. That's just it. When the persona is wondering, when the speaker or the persona is wandering means walking without specific place to go in mind. So he's wandering, and while he was wandering, he saw a lot of daffodils. So he saw it under the trees, beneath the trees, beside the lake, and the daffodils are, how did he describe the daffodils here? What are the daffodils doing?
It's waving po.
It's waving and dancing with the breeze. It's waving and dancing with the air. Okay. I think pati yung pagiging ano niya no, yung pakikipag-usap niya sa iba ay naging ano na din. Virtual na din no, yung iba gumagamit ng phone habang nagdi-discuss. Virtual na din yung pakikipag-chismisan habang nagdi-discuss. But that's okay as long as you are listening. Ayan. So that's it. That's just the first stanza. Next, let us go to the second stanza. Please read the second stanza. Yes, Jeshra.
Ma'am, can you hear me po?
Yes, po.
Okay. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. And saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly,
Can you repeat the last line?
tossing their heads in a sprightly dance.
Hindi ko akalain na ganyan pala yung boses mo with face. So I was shocked. Okay, thank you for that, Jeshra. Who wants to explain or to summarize the second stanza? Anyone? Yes, Shy.
Can you hear me po?
Yes, po, I can hear you. We can hear you.
So the second stanza, he compared the daffodils to stars that shine in the Milky Way, in the sky.
And then?
And stars twinkle. So he also compared it to the daffodils dancing to the stars that twinkle.
Okay. That's it. That's correct, Shai. Wait lang. Parang napapansin ko, parang walang ibang section dito. Wait lang. I will check. Ayan. Meron naman pala. Okay, so that's it. So in this stanza, he's just continued to describe the scenery that he saw. So he compared the daffodils to the stars. And when we say stars, there are millions of stars. No? It's a lot of stars. There's a lot of stars, and it's twinkling in the Milky Way. So he compared the daffodils to the stars. So they stretch in never-ending line. This is also a description of how many the daffodils are. 10,000. It's 10,000 saw at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. So in this stanza, he just tell us, or the persona is describing the daffodils or describing the numbers of daffodils that he saw. And can you imagine how many daffodils dancing and waving with a breeze? So with that kind of scenery, imagine it. Daffodils, golden flowers, thousands of golden flowers beside the lake, beneath the trees, and it's tossing and dancing. How beautiful that kind of scenery is, right? Okay, so next, let us proceed to the next stanza. Anyone who wants to read, I will call a student. Mm, wait. Jania, 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 Kija, Jania, Kija, Jania. Is that Jania or Jania? Jania. Can you hear us, Jania? No? Okay, let me call another one. Hans. Hans Villas. Hans Villas. Hans? I think you have a problem with the mic. Sige, let me call another one. Hermosa. Is that right?
Hello po, ma'am.
And hello then. Can you read or please read this stanza?
Okay po, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
The waves beside them dance, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not be but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth that show to me had brought.
Okay. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. Be careful with your TH sound, the soft TH sound. It's ha. Um, all of you, be careful kasi madalas yan yung namamali tayo, we Filipino. So it's thought and it's thought. Okay, again. Can you repeat it with me? All of you, thought.
Thought.
It's thought.
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 Your tongue should be in the middle of your teeth. Yeah, thought. Yeah. Practice your TH sound. Okay. Thank you for that, Rico Hermosa. Now, who wants to summarize or explain the meaning of this stanza? Yes, Kate.
The persona of the stanza is talking about the author's feeling when he wandered with the daffodils. He said that it's merry and it's very happy when he saw it.
Okay, the daffodils is happy based on him. Okay, thank you for that, Kate. So in this stanza, he's just continuing to define or describe the daffodils that he saw. So based on this, wait, I cannot see my slide. The waves beside them dance, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. So beside the daffodils is a lake or is a water, and it has a waves. You know, waves are beautiful. Do you also agree that waves are beautiful, especially when they are sparkling? Water are beautiful, or the water is beautiful when they are sparkling. But the persona said that they outdid, meaning the daffodils are more beautiful than the water, than the waves that he saw. So that. And with that kind of scenery, with that kind of view, a poet could not but be gay. So he is very happy with, or the view, the scenery makes him happy. So he cannot stop but look at the daffodils, the crowd of daffodils. Okay, next, let us proceed. I think this is the last stanza. Who wants to read the last stanza? Let me call another one. Your wait. Wait. Yes, Mikaela.
Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Oh, I can hear you. We can hear you.
For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils.
Very good. Thank you for that, Mikaela. Okay, now who are going to explain this last stanza? All right, let's do it by line. Let's first explain this three lines. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye. What does this three lines mean? Any other hand? other hand, Yi, Jansen.
Ma'am,
Hello?
can you hear me po?
Yes po. Ay. Yes, Jansen, we can hear you.
Ma'am, yung first to second line lang po yung explain po.
First, first to third line.
Ma'am, the author said on this line po, ma'am, nawala po yung screen share, ma'am.
Walang
Ma'am,
screen share until
Opo.
now?
Nawala po sa akin, ma'am. Sa akin lang po ata, ma'am, nawala po eh.
How about to other students?
Andito po, ma'am.
Meron po.
Meron po.
Sige, wait lang. Wait. Wait lang ha. Those who are watching in YouTube, lahat ng comment nyo ay nare-record dito. Kahit i-delete nyo yan. Lahat ng naka-screenshot dito sa comment, lahat ng nag-comment dito, nang walang kinalaman dito sa lesson natin, your name will be given to your advisor. Lahat ng sinend nyo dito, screenshot ko, and it will be sent to your advisor. Ayan. Kung ayaw nyong makinig, okay lang. Sana hindi na lang kayo nag-log in dito. We are trying our best to give you, to still give you education para mabigyan kayo or ma-render namin yung kailangan ninyo. But you are, yan, hindi kayo marunong rumispeto.
Ma'am, okay na po, ma'am.
Okay, let's continue.
Ma'am, when he was in couch, he was wandering with and seeing the daffodils in his inward eye po.
Okay. After, yes, thank you for that, Johnson. Yeah. After that experience, after he viewed or he sees the daffodils, he can still imagine it, even if he already went home, even if it's already lang. Wait lang ha. Oh. Sorry for that. Meron kasing problema dito sa YouTube. Some of the students are not, not showing respect to their classmates. And yeah, so maybe next week, mag-bisection na lang tayo or 2 sections at a time. Yeah. Again, so in this stanza, so after that experience, after he saw the daffodils, even he was at home or even if it was long time ago already, he can still remember the scenery. It still flashes in his memory. He can still imagine how beautiful the daffodils are. So now, how about in this last 3 lines, which is the bliss of solitude? Which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. What do we mean by that? Yes. Yes, Kate.
Ma'am, napindot ako po.
Good lang.
Napindot. Masakit.
Yes, Chelsea.
Po.
Did you raise your hand? No.
Hindi po.
Hindi din. Okay. Yes, Wesley.
Yung dun po sa last stanza po ay yung it take away of his boredom when he is lonely because of the dance of the daffodils.
Okay. It takes away the boredom and slowly because of his memory of the daffodils. So even if it was long time ago, with the memory of the daffodils, it still makes him happy. It still brings him joy. So the memory, okay, the scenery, even the memory of the daffodils brings joy and pleasure to the persona in this poem. Ayan. So let us conclude the poem. So in this poem, while the persona is wandering, he saw a group or a crowd of daffodils, and it is so beautiful. Um, it's all over the place. It is so many, like thousand. He compared it to the stars, and even he compared it to the waves. And he even said, or the persona even said that the daffodils are better than the waves. And even if it was long time ago, the memory of the daffodils, the memory of the beauty of the daffodils still gives him joy and pleasure. So that's it. That's the whole poem. That is what the whole poem is all about. It's about the joy that the daffodils bring to the persona. Now, the question is, what is the theme of the poem? When we say theme, it is the main idea of the poem. What is the theme of the poem? What is it all about? Theme is always expressed through a complete sentence. Hindi siya pautos. It is not a question. So it is declarative sentence. So what is the theme of the poem? What is the main idea of the poem? Anyone? Wait, one question. Is it clear to you? Is the message of the poem clear to you? Clear ba yung poem?
Yes po.
Yes po. Now, question. If it's clear, what is the theme of the poem?
Nature.
Who said that? Sino yun? Hello? Okay. Okay, let's call from those who are raising their hand. Let's call someone who wasn't called yet. Trish.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Can you hear me po?
Yes po, we can hear you.
So, based on my observation, theme po is about the nature and how he admired it po.
Okay, it's about the admiration of the persona to the nature. Okay, very good. Another one. Maybe we can paraphrase it into a declarative sentence. Yes. Syra. Let me give you one example of how are you going to state the theme of a literature, okay? For example, the story Beauty and the Beast, for example, that. So the theme of the story, Beauty and the Beast, is that, for example lang love is blind, like that. So it should be declarative. Yeah. It could also be called the lesson. So the main idea, it should never be imperative and interrogative. So dapat declarative siya. Yes. Wesley.
It
Hello, ma'am.
Hello?
Rinig po ako.
Yes po.
The, the theme of the I Wandered as Lonely as the Cloud is about imagination and how he loves the nature.
Okay. Can you paraphrase it into a declarative form, like in a sentence, a complete sentence? Hello? That is correct, but we are just going to paraphrase it or to restate your answers.
Pwede po i-try.
Yes.
Ano ma'am? Natural happiness.
The theme of the poem is natural happiness. Can you complete it? Completo. Completo. May subject, may ano.
The main theme of the poem, I Wandered Only as a Cloud, is a certain state of natural happiness.
A certain state of natural happiness. For example, let's paraphrase. Like for example, natural happiness can be acquired from the beauty of the nature. You know, in complete sentence. Okay, but that is correct, Hans. Thank you for that. Okay, let's call another one. Yes, I think we have the same students who are raising their hand. Chelsea.
Yes po, ma'am.
Yes, po.
The theme of the poem po is ma'am, I don't know po.
Okay, sige. Let me restate the question. Question is, what is the message of the poem? What is the message of the poem?
The person in the poem po, he was expressing his happiness po through picturing po how he enjoyed the nature po.
Okay, so that's it. Oh, that's also correct. So the persona expresses his happiness through what? Through the nature. Happiness that he acquired from the nature. Okay. So is there anyone who wants to also
Ma'am. Ma'am.
That I cannot. Sino ba yun? Can you say your name?
Mark Vincent po.
Mark Vincent. Yes, Mark.
Our sadness can be overcome when we look at the beauty of things.
Sadness, very good. Sadness can be overcome when you look at the beauty of things. Okay, or the beauty of nature. Very good answer. Yes, Mark. Any other answer? Yes, Mauricio. Stephen?
Hey, ma'am.
Yes.
The bliss of solitude is found through the peace of nature.
Wow. The bliss of nature, the bliss of solitude can be found through the peace of nature. Yes, that is also correct. Actually, there is no wrong answer. You just have to state it properly. Kasi you analyze the poem based on your own experiences, right? Okay. Yes. Who is that? Yes, Syra.
It is thanks to the beauty of appealed or of daffodils that the poet happens upon he is able to leave his feelings of melancholy behind.
Again, can you repeat your answer?
Um, it is thanks to the beauty of appealed of daffodils that the poet happens upon that he is able to leave his feeling of melancholy behind.
It's thanks to the beauty of daffodils that the poet can leave already the feeling of melancholy behind, so the sadness behind. So it is thanks to the beauty of nature that the poet doesn't feel sad anymore. Okay, very good. Any other answer? Wala na ba? So this poem only tells us that humanity and nature cannot be separated. Humanity and nature always go hand in hand. And we can also feel joy, pleasure through the beauty of nature. Have you ever experienced an immense happiness because of the beauty of nature? Nakaranas na ba kayo ng kasiyahan dahil sa sobrang ganda ng nature or sa sobrang ganda ng scenery na nakikita nyo?
Yes po.
Opo.
Hindi ba? For example, dahil sa sobrang ganda ng white sand sa Manila Bay, joke lang. Okay. For example, joke lang yan. For example, dahil sa sobrang ganda ng nature, yung scenery ng nature, na sobrang nakaranas ka ng sobra-sobrang saya or ng pleasure or ng nawala yung kalungkutan mo. Nakanasan mo na ba yon? Have you ever experienced that? Yes or no?
Yes po.
Ayan.
Yes po.
If yes, that is because then Wordsworth is right. Humanity and nature cannot be separated. So we need nature also to live, and also nature gives us happiness and pleasure. Now, because some of you already, there are sections who already answered the deepen. We are going to change the question in deepen. So do not answer the question there. What are you going to answer is a question that I will flash here so that I will know who watches and who didn't. So those who answer the question posted in the deepen, they did not watch the video. But those who watch, those who answer the question that I will post here, it is sure that you watch and you are in this live conference. Okay, the question is, it's not actually a question. I know, yeah, it's a question. Have you also experienced happiness caused by nature that you always remember? Have you also experienced happiness caused by nature that you always remember? Nakaranas ka ba ng sobrang kasiyahan dahil o dulot ng kalikasan na lagi mong natatandaan that you always imagine? So if yes, what is that? Share that experience in the comment section in Deepen. If no, then maybe all of you have experienced. So yeah, share some experience where you become super happy because of nature. Write your answer in the comment section in Deepen. Do not answer the question there. Answer this question posted here. Ayan. Do you have any question?
Ma'am, ako po.
Who is that?
Wesley po.
Yes, Wesley.
Ilang sentence po?
Kahit ilan siguro.
Thank you po.
No limit and no minimum, no maximum sentence also. Just share. Any other question? Ayan, reminder, start memorizing the poem because you are going to perform it, or yes, you're going to read it or perform it. That if you don't have question, you can already answer the deepen in Schoology day 2 deepen, and you can already leave the meeting. Please always take care, always stay COVID free. Yan. Ingat. Thank you and God bless. For those who are in YouTube, ayan, dahil galing sa advisor nyo yung mga pinagpo-post nyo dito, ayan, lahat ng mga nag-comment ng walang kinalaman sa lesson, ayan, lagot kayo sa advisor ninyo. So you can already leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you po. Bye-bye.
Next.
Thank you po.
Thank you po. Bye-bye po.
Bye-bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you for joining me here in Zoom.
Bye po, ma'am.